You want to see how deeply unserious this Trump administration is and outright dangerous? Donald Trump just named as his senior director of counterterrorism MAGA radio host Sebastian Gorka, who couldn't pass an FBI background check and get a security clearance back in 2017. Yes, this is the same Sebastian Gorka who, during the inauguration ball back in 2017, wore an outfit and medal honoring the Vitezi Rend Order, which was a Hungarian nationalist organization that was linked to Nazis. More on that in a bit. Also, you have Sebastian Gorka, who was taking selfies of himself like this. Black Guns Matter. Photos like this. This is him right here. He also, again, now that he's appointed as the senior director of counterterrorism, this is the guy who's supposed to protect us from counterterrorism. Here's what he previously posted. Warning. My Twitter account with 1.2 million followers was hacked and linked to an email list that is not mine. In the meantime, I cannot log on to my account, and the automated response says it can take days or longer for Twitter to react. In the meantime, the hackers are already posting fraudulent posts about fundraising for St. Jude's, another thing for Elon Musk to fix. As Ron Filipkowski says, this is the guy who's supposed to protect us from terrorism. Jojo from Jers goes, holy F word. Sebastian Gorka is his pick to be senior director for counterterrorism. Seb effing Gorka, who was denied security clearance in the last Trump administration. Seb effing Gorka, who has ties to Nazi-allied organizations in Hungary. The director of counterterrorism. By the way, for all of the Jews who voted for Donald Trump, you may want to take a look at this from the last time around, the Times of Israel. Here's where it says, a top aide to Donald Trump who recently defended the administration's omission of Jews from a Holocaust Remembrance Day statement has on several occasions wore insignia tied to Nazi collaborators in Hungary. Sebastian Gorka, a former editor at Breitbart News and now a deputy assistant to the president, was photographed and interviewed at the Trump inauguration wearing the uniform and medal of the Vitezi Rend, a Hungarian order of merit closely associated with Nazi Germany. You see him wearing it right here. There he is with his wife wearing the Order of Vitezi Rend back the last time around. Here was the article from NBC News. Sebastian Gorka made Nazi-linked Vitezi Rend proud by wearing the medal. Controversy has swirled around Sebastian Gorka, one of Trump's top counterterrorism advisors, ever since he attended the inaugural ball wearing the honorary medal of the Hungarian nationalist organization Vitezi Rend. NBC News traveled to Hungary to dig deeper into Gorka's ties with the group, speaking with members of the organization as well as with locals who knew him when he lived there. Well, I guess it's make Hungary great again, right? Donald Trump admires Viktor Orban, the authoritarian leader of Hungary, whose entire GDP is under $200 billion a year. That's less than some major American corporations make. As Carol Schaefer says, yes, Sebastian Gorka is part of the Order of the Vitezi, an homage to the Hungarian nationalist group active from 1920 to 1944, whose leadership eagerly aided Adolf Eichmann in sending 400,000 Hungarian Jews to Auschwitz. So sure, have him on TV to talk about anti-Semitism. I mean, it's so utterly pathetic. And again, I showed you these photos here of what he's been wearing. Also, he went on interviews, and a number of times he called Vice President Kamala Harris a colored person. Here, play this clip.
I think that Kamala Harris is going to do better in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania than Joe Biden would. I mean, that's something, because it can't be anybody else.
Hey, Rob, you're being logical. Stop it, all right? She's a DEI hire, right? She's a woman. She's colored, therefore she's got to be good.
Let's talk about time savers for a second. Time is everything. And the last thing I want to worry about while I'm making videos for MeidasTouch is having to wait in line at the post office just to overpay for postage. So if you're running a business or just want to ship and mail like you're in the 21st century, can I introduce you to Stamps.com? It's the time saver you didn't know you needed, but you need. Stamps.com isn't just for small business mailings. Whether you're a small startup or a multi-location organization, Stamps.com handles all your mailings and shipping needs wherever and whenever you need it. If you sell products online, it seamlessly connects with every major marketplace and shopping cart. Think of Stamps.com as your 24/7 post office. You can take care of mailing and shipping right from your computer or phone anytime, day or night. No lines, no traffic, no waiting. All you need is a computer and a printer, and get this, they even send you a free scale. Now, I know the cost of postage increased in July, but here's the kicker. Stamps.com offers some crazy discounts. We're talking up to 89% off USPS and UPS rates. That's some serious savings. So here's the deal. Sign up at Stamps.com and enter code MEIDAS, MEIDAS, for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. That's Stamps.com. Use the code MEIDAS and get that deal right now. As Joe Puma says, Sebastian reported to Steve Bannon in Trump's first term, Gorka is known for his anti-Islamic views, and he was accused of having ties to a Hungarian far-right Nazi group. But besides all of that, how is he going to counter terrorism if he's too dumb and gets hacked the way he did? John Ridge goes, yeah, the same Sebastian Gorka who failed to obtain a clearance in 2017 and worked for the Hungarian Ministry of Defense for multiple years. Pesach Latin says, now Jews are contacting me left and right, regretting their vote for Trump. I didn't believe he'd put Gorka and Matt Gaetz in power. You voted for this shit show right here. Let me show you this. This is Donald Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton, on CNN. Here's what he had to say about Gorka. He calls Gorka a con man who needs a full-field FBI background investigation about where his loyalty resides. Play this clip.
Can I get your take? Because we were just talking about all the announcements that came out tonight from Donald Trump. It was a flood of them for a lot of cabinet picks. One of them is a name that I believe you'll be familiar with, Sebastian Gorka. He was previously working in the White House before with NSC. He's someone who worked with Steve Bannon. He was forced out when General Kelly came in as the chief of staff. He has been named as a deputy assistant to the president and senior director for counterterrorism. What's your thought on that selection tonight?
Well, Sebastian Gorka is a con man. I wouldn't have him in any U.S. government. Fortunately, it's not the highest position he had been mentioned for, but I don't think it's going to bode well for counterterrorism efforts when the NSC senior director is somebody like that. And this is why, obviously, everybody is now focusing on the top jobs. But the questions of who are the deputy secretaries, who are the undersecretaries, and so on, is also going to tell us a lot about who's actually running the government.
What you called him a con man. What's your? Tell us why.
Well, I tell you, he needs a full-field FBI background investigation about his educational claims and things like that. I think he is a perfect example of somebody who owes his position purely to Donald Trump. He doesn't display loyalty; he displays fealty, and that's what Trump wants. He doesn't want Gorka's opinions. He wants Gorka to say, yes, sir, and I am fully confident that's exactly what will happen, no matter what it is Trump says.
I'm sure he will have a lot of thoughts on those comments from you. But
And then finally, let me show you this clip right here of John Bolton as well, Donald Trump's former national security advisor, who says this about Tulsi Gabbard and Matt Gaetz and the threat that they pose. Play this clip.
But on those top positions that you just mentioned, we saw the first cabinet pick for Trump withdraw yesterday. Matt Gaetz said his nomination was becoming a distraction. You tweeted after that, quote, "One down, more to follow." Do you think that there are other names that are going to withdraw that have been chosen by Donald Trump, and why?
or that we'll be defeated on the floor of the Senate. There are a lot of competitors to see who's as bad as Gates, who actually turned out to be the worst cabinet nominee in history. Tulsi Gabbard's now number 2. But I put the two of them in a class by themselves. There are others, Pete Hegseth for defense, who have come under fire. Tulsi Gabbard's threat to our national security really is a completely different level. And I think now that Gates has taken himself out of the race for AG, I think enormous amounts of attention have to be directed at Gabbard.
Would you vote?
And of course, we need to still focus on Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Hegseth. I mean, this is a group of unqualified people who are outright dangerous to our government. Interesting, right? Donald Trump uses the phrase, the enemy from within. Remember, he would always say that, the enemy from within, the enemy from within. Well, as we always like to say here, and I think you know this to be the case, it's always projection and confession with these MAGAs. I'll just leave it at that. Could you imagine if someone from the Biden administration was showing up to the inaugural balls wearing the order of groups associated with Nazis? Could you imagine what that would be like? Speaking of which, let me give us a timeline refresher, a YouTube refresher. This was a speech that President Biden gave on Friday night. Watch this. Play this clip.
Serving as President of the United States has been the honor of my life. But while our time in office is coming to an end, our cause endures. That's because in the history of the journey of America, the America of our dreams, is calling us to stay engaged, to never give up, to keep going, to keep the faith. I know I will, and I know you will. You just remember who in God's name we are. We're the United States of America, and there's nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Please enjoy the dinner. Thank you, thank you.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers together, and thank you so much for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.